Okay, well, let's talk about 1031 exchanges and some examples of clients that I have helped in the past with 1031 exchange. I had a client that had purchased a home in Florida at the beach, and then the husband was transferred here to Atlanta, and they decided to leave the property as rental property in Florida. And once they got older, their plan was, or their dream, I should say, was to have a house at the lake. And it had to be at a lake that was closer to Atlanta, so they really can go there on the weekend if they wanted to. So after renting the house, I believe for about maybe 10, 15 years, they decided to do the big 1031 exchange, which they put it on the market over there, and they started to identify a property here, which they did. And this is the portion that I helped them here. Once they identified the property, they bought it at the lake, and the requirements were to rent it out for a couple of years, which they did. And then they came back, and after 2 years, they could do it as a second home, because you can also have that process that you can convert a house from a rental property to a second home. And that is the process that they were in for another couple of years, until now they're looking into the possibilities of that house becoming their main house. And that's where they are right now. Now, there are so many people that I have helped with different circumstances. Right now, I have somebody that had several properties, and it was a time to move from a school district that it was not so great where those properties were at, and buy one house in an area that have a much better school district, better house, better neighborhood, everything better. And they decided to do that and to sell several of the properties to do the 1031 exchange, and to sell those properties, rental properties, and convert it into one rental property, to that it needs to be a higher price than the sum of the 3 or 4 houses that they decided to sell as 1031 exchanges. And we are now buying, and they're going to they're going to convert it into a rental property. And after, they can pick 2 years, 3 years, whatever amount suits you in your lifetime, or depends on your plans that you really have. And the idea is, at the end of the day, just not having to pay capital gains or any taxes on those properties that you worked so hard to keep up with on when they were just regular rental properties. In United States, you can actually have properties that you just need to live in it for 2 years out of the last 5 years. And that gives you the right to claim them as primary properties. And when you have a primary property that you lived in for the 2 years out of the last 5 years, you don't have to pay capital gain or taxes on that property, which capital gain can be a very stiff tax rate that you have to pay on all the when you have rental properties. So I hope this information is helpful. And if you have any more questions, just call me. There are so many reasons why you want to do a 1031 exchange. Okay, bye.